Hello, everybody, and welcome to this moment action. We do webinar every Thursday at 2 o'clock. We bring guests, people with inspiration, people who have to teach us something, people who are, fighting a good fight, and people who are peacemakers out there as well. Last week, we had Eve Ensler here, the author of Vagina Monologues, if you remember when that book came out. And then every other week, I will share a tip, how to take heart and take action. My name is Samir Selmanović. I'm a chef and leadership coach, and I do politics for the last 2 years, traveling around the country in a bus through all 50 states, trying to converse with people of different persuasion, of different experience, people who are whom we do not understand, and trying to prevail upon them and converse with them to follow common good as a voting criteria as we move towards the election. Welcome again, everybody. I would like today to talk about something that is very close to my experience, and that is being an immigrant. Being an immigrant is something that can be misunderstood, but particularly misunderstood for those who are citizens who have experienced that other people are immigrants. When I was in high school, I always wanted to come to the United States. I remember we were plotting to come to the United States, and my friend and I eloped from our home, gather the money that we need, and just arrive to New York and find Lou Reed and walk on the wild side. He would help us. So that never materialized because we forgot about visas. But here I am now. Many years later, I'm here and I have a solid experience of being an immigrant, starting with nothing and coming now to live here in New York City, also with not too much, but making it here. And as an immigrant, I'm here, and there's a lot of us. And it seems that our job here is to come and to take your jobs. And our job is here to come and take your land and the cattle. And our job is to turn your grills halal and to make your pets gay and to turn your accountants into communists. So I guess I don't recognize that. It's a high it's tall order to do. But joking aside, I'm here now, and I have come to America. And but I want to ask you, as an American right now, do you feel like an immigrant in your own country? Do you feel displaced, disrupted? See, I'm not the one who is immigrating. Perhaps I'm even less an immigrant because I'm adjusted to disruption. But those people who are here, doesn't matter who you are, if you have a red MAGA hat or you are, Bernie boy or girl or voter or whatever, however extremely you can see yourself, we all have something in common, and that is that we are all disrupted. We are all living in a polarized place in which reality is kind of losing its ground, and we don't know what's true, what's not true. We are dealing with all kinds of exaggerations or sometimes, right out denials as well, and we find ourselves disrupted vocationally. If you are not disrupted vocationally, you will be. About 40% of the jobs that exist today will not exist in about 15 to 20 years, including white-collar jobs. If you are not disrupted relationally, you probably will be too, because the loneliness of all of us Americans is on the rise, and we find ourselves less and less grounded and less connected with other people. It's also personal. We're losing our anchors, our stories, our narratives that hold us are all now up for grabs, and it's all sort of like a chaos about it, which gives a lot of opportunity to good storytellers and people who can bring the story forward. And one of the stories that I want to bring is that we're all immigrants. We're all finding our way as human beings. Most of our human history, we didn't have GPS, and GPS takes your head down and you lose a sight of the horizon. You lose attention to what's happening around you. But as wayfinders, we look forward into unknown and we step into the unknown. We have done that so many times. For just about 20,000 years ago, maybe 30,000 years ago, we were in the caves, you know, grunting, and look at us now. We are thinking of going to Mars. We have been on the moon. Just look around yourself and see how far we have come. We human beings, we know how to enter the unknown. Of all the species that we share this planet with, this is our strength, stepping into the unknown and finding a new way to be. And we will find our way together. As immigrants, I want to contrast then what it means to be an immigrant and versus immigrant story or immigrant's journey versus hero's journey. In the hero's journey, there must be a villain, there must be a victim, there must be somebody who is wrong and somebody who loses. There must be a battle, and there must be hurt, and there must be sometimes annihilation, and there is no way of redemption for the villain. We have grown up on this hero's journey through our sports, through our movies. 95% of everything we do as a society, the stories we tell, are hero journey stories. I wanted to invite you to immigrant story and to see yourself as somebody who is entering the unknown. There's plenty of adventure, plenty of tension, plenty of conflict to see yourself going through an adventure in your life. Because as immigrants, we are entering it together. We are not against one another, but we are together looking into the place neither you nor I have been before. And then adventure begins. We are both confused. We are both scared. We are both angry. And I know you are probably confused, scared, and angry today, especially in issues of politics. But we are confused, angry, and scared together. And we are going to enter this together because we are vulnerable together. And that vulnerability gives us a place to be and place of mutual understanding and camaraderie. Recently, I was on a Trump rally and I felt that camaraderie with everybody. I disagree with everything that was said there, everything that was expressed there, but I knew that we are lost together. And that lostness together gave me a sense of belonging. And without that sense of belonging to one another, we won't be able to find our ways into our becoming or who we're going to become. I remember when my daughter was 13, 14 or so, I didn't know what to do as a parent. I was completely out of my depth. And I tried to tell her things. I tried to ask questions to lead her to certain conclusions and couldn't move until I just came clean and told her, both of them, when they were of that age, I told them, look, I don't know. Do you know how to be a daughter? You don't. You don't know how to adult yourself as a part of this family or how to adult yourself at all. And I don't know how to parent. I've never been parent before. So we're both lost. So how about we immigrate into this new place where you can be yourself and I can be myself and we learn to be there together. And that changed everything for my parenting experience because I was able now to ask questions that I didn't have answers for. And then she started to answer those questions because I asked real and genuine questions that puzzled me deeply. And that was accepted. I was not manipulating her anymore. I was vulnerable and I didn't know what to do. And I asked her to help me be a better parent. And I offered her to help her be a better adult. And it was just a really, really important move. And I know it happened really in this room here in the back years ago, after some crying and after the issues we went through, and things from then moved on. The fact of the matter is that we do not know what is going to solve our problem. If we knew, we would already be at it. Whatever happens with our country and whatever happens with us will surprise us all because we do not know it yet. It will surprise us all. So how do you as an immigrant live? You live by expecting surprise, by expecting good things, by expecting help, by asking for help and receiving help and giving help. The big characteristic of an immigrant is curiosity. First of all, you don't know even the language of where you are. So you got to learn what things mean, what people mean when they say something. You know, think about American idioms. Like, I mean, I felt idiot with American idioms so many times, but I learned to love them because they're full of stories and help you understand the culture. So what seems scary, if you approach it with curiosity, becomes something that you love to approach, the love to know. It draws you in. Because unknown is full of delights and joys, as it is full of dangerous things as well. But there is no way than through the unknown. One of the ways that I want to invite you to, as a, you know, to take heart and take action is to find the places where you're awkward. Awkwardness is really great place because with one foot you're in a known and one foot you're in the unknown, and you are right there in between, and you are growing because you're not too scared, but you're also not too comfortable. So what is an awkward thing you can do? To put yourself in a place where you don't know how to handle. Awkwardness is place of deep learning, a whole body learning. Then you will be led forward to forgive, to be forgiven, and even to delight in what you don't know. Because that unknown hides so much beauty in people and so much love. Awkwardness is a place where we learn like crazy. We're awkward when we go for a date. We don't know what happens. We're awkward when we learn new skill. And so let's do that together. See, when you're immigrant, things are not about winning. Things are about learning. And those who learn in this time, in the last couple of years, those people will win. So winning is all about learning. And you become a person who can take the victory if you learn, who can first of all recognize what it needs to be done and then take it and perhaps deserve it because you have gone through a process of learning. So that's my tip for taking heart and taking action is to be a learner rather than winner, to strive to be that. And I know I have arrived as an immigrant when my daughter, the other day, she was demonstrating at a big bull at the Wall Street and lied down for Extinction Rebellion, and she was booked into jail for a day. And it was just a shocker. I found out, through friends. And then she came in the evening and walked into home, and her mother and I, my wife and I, we were just celebrating her and thanking her that she's now entering a place where she doesn't have answers. And she's an immigrant. She is learning to solve her riddle, to give herself and her body and her time and her effort for something that she values. That was very important to us. And so I invite you to find a place where, as an immigrant, where bridges are burned and ships are down, there is no way back. Nobody is going to help us. There is no way back. There is no country that we can get back to. It is something that is forward. Nothing is going to happen again. It's a new thing. And I want to invite you to sort of turn away from this pining to go somewhere and find a home here in a new place. It's dark sometimes when you're an immigrant. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you're lost a lot. But darkness is a place also that is good. It holds you. See, we see through the light, but we are held in the darkness. Darkness is gentle to us. Sadness is important. Anger is important. All of these things are holding us to live a fully human life. If we were never afraid and never angry and never sad, we will never have an empathy for anybody. And only empathy will take us through this. So I invite you to embrace hard times, just to walk through them in one piece. You don't need to succeed in any way. You just walk through it and emerge on the other side in one piece, even on the all four, crawling. And as you pass through and as you crawl through, you will find your strength. You will realize how much you have learned, how much you have grown, how much all of us have grown. So, and the last thing about immigrants is that immigrants, they sing all night long, like a Clash song sings, you know, immigrants, they sing all night long. So where is your song? What are you singing? What are you remembering? Where is the choir, the band you want to join and practice your songs? I invite you to find places like that. They are the most awkward places, but they're beautiful places. They're places of power. And so find where you can sing, where you can dance, where you can hug and sing and dance and hug some more and then eat and then all over again sing and dance and hug and eat. These are the times that are difficult, but they're beautiful and they're powerful. So this moment, we invite you to join other people who are on this immigrant journey. There are a couple of events we have, so join us for those. On April 25, we're organizing This Moment Rally in Malcolm X Park in Washington, D.C. It will be amazing lineup of musicians and speakers, people that will really fill your batteries. So if it's time for you to go to Washington, April 25, just check out thismomentrally.org. Also, there will be a 3-day conference at the same time in Washington, D.C. from April 24th to April 26th. It's called Revolutionary Love, and come and join us for that as well. You will learn a lot. And then finally, go to votecommongood.com. This is the organization that I'm chairing, and we travel all over the country through 50 states, through some of them 4 or 5 times between now and November 3rd. So come on the bus with us, join us through a contribution, through a prayer, through encouragement, anything you can provide, we would really, really appreciate it. So we know we are not alone on these long, long, long roads through this beautiful country. You might not have an accent like I do, but you yourself are unique and you're different. And keep that uniqueness and difference. Doesn't matter which party you're in. Do not comply with the litmus test of any party. Be yourself. Let parties serve you instead of you serving them. And just keep walking and keep learning, and you will find this immigrant experience to be just wonderfully rewarding and beautiful. Thank you all. We will see you next week. I'm not quite sure at the moment where the guests are, but go to those websites and you'll find out how to be informed. See you soon. Thank you.